Hi, Kathy Vick, Deeply Awake. And I had a lively discussion with my sister today. It was so awesome. I love her so much. And we got to the place where I said, I got to review this essay I wrote a really long time ago called No Fault State. Because I don't know, it kind of feels like that might be a proper thing to be looking at right now. Because that's at times how I feel. Now this is coming from days of feeling really kind of crappy. Totally crappy. It feels like probably more days than is recorded. But wow, just changes galore. And I don't know, I think that once I saw the thing you do about solar flaring and gamma doodads, I thought, wow, ding, 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 ding. So it's kind of weird still, this mergy doodad thing you do. I don't know. What do you call it? Merge. What's mine, what's theirs? Well, does it really matter? Does it? Who does it matter to? It seems to matter to me, and I don't think it should. Who the hell cares where it comes from, right? I'm seeing anomaly. I think it's me who's been having this argument with myself. Well, if it's if it's from me, it's not pure. Have you read one of your essays lately, Kathy Vick? Doy. So I don't know. But then, my clay feet go clunk, clunk, clunk on the floor. And I open my wallet and moths fly out of it. And I'm thinking, yeah, well, until each and every one of my life lesson plans is completed to my satisfaction, I must withhold a sense of self-worth. Don't you understand? And then I see others who are really in more acceptance, but more than that, this little voice keeps on talking. Even if I don't want it to talk, it does. So I did want to just briefly talk about, I saw that video I did, and they were saying about the padding to the bathroom, and that's so really true. I really feel as a human being as if I wake up during sleep, it's just a pause in the programming, and I don't know why I have to do it, but I do. And then I go back to sleep. And I used to find, and this may be interesting to some who might be going through sleep changes, what was happening to me at the beginning when I was just kind of getting everything, I had 3 distinct sleep patterns that I went through each night for weeks, and then it would change. Me always having had an argument with sleep since I was, an infant. My mom said that when I was a little baby, I would be, sucking on my bottle, and one eye would be closed. I'd be sleeping when I was wide open. I think that's a profound metaphor. Keep an eye open. Yeah. Might as well do that. So, to relax a little bit, I don't think I'll ever be fully relaxed because I just, there's always the data stream. But this no fault state is a nice one, and it took some work to get here. It took really not liking myself a whole lot for a little bit, and not liking what I was experiencing, and not liking, la 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 la. And not liking my work product, and not liking my disinterest in chores, and not liking. Boy. Not fun, in other words. Really kind of a drag. And so, anyhow, it's better now. It's just a phase I was going through. I feel better now, okay? So whatever. It comes and it goes. And I was going to be doing this, and I thought, well, I'm not going to waste people's precious time. I better have something to say. I better talk about the government or some shit. And then I thought, wait a minute here. Hold the phone. Some people find this pursuit as valid as I do. Explaining stuff and talking about stuff. And those who don't like it, well, that's just fine. That's fine. But what I liked with this one video I saw, I was extemporaneously, doing la about my life. Oh, it was that one where I was going to channel, I never did. Because I found the contents of my own head so beautiful. But the thing is, here's the cool thing. Even when I did that mayhem one this morning and it was... Yeah, I thought, okay, sure. Put that one up and it's going to go down. And plus, I'm going to be on some lists. So yeah, I'm not revealing what I know. It's just freaking looking at the patterns is all. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what's going on around here. But that's for everybody to come to their own conclusions. I'm just really convinced of that. My job is to just be somebody who has an alternate point of view. And in person, I'll be happy to explain my alternate point of view. And privately, however, like texty private. But no, I won't be sharing that far and wide. Who needs that? It's not necessary. What is necessary is just being of good cheer. So during the last slump I was in, where I was just feeling like a total I don't know, just like a dork, just like a big, incredibly big dork. That's really my problem, is I wish I wasn't so much of a dork. I'm beginning to just be okay with that. I'm beginning to be okay with my dorkdom. And sure, that it helps to know that I'm okay just the way I am, because the voices in my head tell me that. It's another to see somebody else who's a total dork and have them just really be okay with that. You know why they're okay with it usually? It's because they've let themselves be loved. Not in spite of, and not because of. Just loved. So it's been what has been helping me recover from being in a deep dark hole for a while, about a week, is this. I began to really begin to believe. First it was just like risking it. And then pretty soon it was, okay, it feels really good to risk it. I think I'm going to do that more. And then more and more. And that's to just realize that I'm loved. I'm loved. I'm loved. I'm loved by people who tell me that they love me. And I'm loved by people who don't. Wow. I'm loved by people I don't even know. I'm loved by people I've never seen before. I'm loved by people who have no interest in ever looking me in the eye. I'm loved by them all. Loved. Huh. Now I'm sure that some people have this as standard equipment. I can tell. I'm not convinced that it's entirely natural to make all of it happen in a generated way until I talk to my kid. And he just always floors me. Yes, he has difficulties and he has heartbreaks and he has many things that are going on. Many that I don't know about. Some he's probably even lied to me about. But I know this kid knows deep in his cellular structure that he's okay. That everything's okay. That's what that kid teaches me. Acceptance of self and self-soothing and I don't know, he trips me up. He trips me out, I guess is the word. Whew. And then you know what happens? He's got this little tribe of people that are a lot like him, because he just doesn't have time for anybody else. And I really want him to just be so loved, and so so supported and engaged with, but as he wants. I want for him to be happy, and however that happens to be, and it's not for me to decide how he'd be happy, and then if he doesn't do it the way I think that would be best for him to be happy, then I get to pound him. No, it doesn't work that way. He gets to decide what makes him happy, and then he gets to do that. Wow, what a revolutionary way to parent. I think that's a revolutionary way to be, too. But, I don't know. It's not self-generated. It's not something I dreamt up. It's not something I even had a dream about. It's a live human being who I adore and fail miserably to prove I adore. I am really kind of crappy at that. But man, the heart's open, I'll tell you that much. So, I have thought a lot about this relationship, and really I got pregnant at 39. So, as a kid, he often got compliments to his grandma on his manners and stuff, and I, at a certain point, I said, yeah, I know, isn't he sweet? Yes, they're doing a great job with him. Why fight it, baby? Just take the love. Because I said, for a few times I said, because, you know, my dorkdom, oh yeah, well, I'm his mom. Then it's like, pew, pew, pew. Thank you for that compliment, but now I want to make you feel bad. Yeah. And I would say, hey, it's not your fault. I know I got wrinkles. Wah, wah. But still, just, you know, it doesn't need to be refuted. Anyway. I like it, and I think that from what I can understand, from what I've read and studied, that it's oftentimes, and this is why I like my thingies, because I always get into the metaphysics. It doesn't matter what I'd start out with. I could be talking about Stroganoff, and I'm going to wind up talking metaphysics. So here we go. All right. Ready, gang? Yeah. It's really cool. I'm going to tell you about the stuff that Cryon talks about, and then I'm going to tell you about the boron stuff, and I'm going to tie it up with a couple of things. So the Cryon is always talking about the well, not always, but he's mentioned, and it's been more of an illusion. It hasn't been a straight up blah blah, but the idea here is that grandparents, their souls will often regenerate within the grandchildren, or to say it better, people of the same tribe will come in, grandparent to grandchild, and oftentimes the grandchildren in those situations, they're the teachers of the grandparents, and there's a bond between child and grandparent that is uncanny, kind of supernatural, where you know that that's someone who's really special to you. And that is something that you either feel or you don't, and some people can feel that deep. Some people, I think everybody can. I just do. Didn't you have a favorite grandpa or grandma? And they you didn't have to run anything on them. It was just pure love. And you weren't trying to get crap from them, like money or whatever. You just wanted to have them hold your hand and walk with you. You had one of those? Well, if you did, there you go. There you go. That's a part of you. It's part of your family. And it even gets freakier, deakier. So here's the idea. Grandparents to children. Well, that's good. That's like, right now it's the wave. So the grandparents and the children are, and then the it's kind of cute. Grandparents, parents, children, basically, but not the same tribe. Not the same biologic families, just that band. We all have different missions, but we're all, it's like supporting each other. And the grandchildren are here to be pure, to show what it's like in the new energy, to show how the Akash is being held differently, and the consciousness must be held differently because the morphogenic fields are different. They were born into different magnetics than us, and so they can have a consciousness stance that is different and, I think, more expansive than we can. Does that make them masters? No, it doesn't, guys. It doesn't mean that just because you're born after 2000 you're some sort of a freaking master. It don't work that way. But it's possible to come in clearer than ever before the farther along we go as the grid sweetens and sweetens and sweetens. That's the idea. Not only is it you sitting in, your 50-year-old ass sitting in a meditation chair going Om Shana Manama Shabaya and feeling better about yourself, so you're not quite as much of a dork. I don't know. Whatever. So you're more loving and la la la. Well, that's just great. What else do you think that's doing? Well, it's changing the grid. And I know this to be true. I know this to be true. Stitching the grid with love, that's what it's all about. Getting to the place where you feel so much love. Whether you're on the side of a mountain or in somebody's arms, it doesn't matter. Maybe you're all alone. It don't matter. When you feel that, and whoa, is this body heating up? When you feel that, you are changing the grid. You're making it better. You're making it better for everybody. And these kind of situations that we're seeing play out both personally and nationally and internationally and in our imaginations using films and all kinds of stuff, they're sweetening the grid, and it's making it possible for souls, pure, God source, whatever we all are, to come in and inhabit their DNA with more light, with a higher DNA quotient activated. That's the idea. The magnetics open and yield to more potential. Let's not forget, you get to a certain point and you can have everything, okay? You open a door and then it's just available. But until then, there are gradations, and you got to work up, 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 up. Because if you're functioning at a low DNA level, not a lot of light, not a lot of light, a lot of darkness, not a lot of light, well, guess what? It's going to be harder for you. And as you lighten up the burdens, the burdensome thinking, the burdensome beliefs, the blame, the shame, the guilt, the recriminations, the fear. You think I don't carry that? Oh, baby. Oh, my God. And thankfully, I've got sweet, sweet people who love me, who have been willing to stand with me as I punch and yell and speak my truth. Pillars who've let me. That saved my ass. There's one person who did that for me so significantly that I wouldn't be who I am right now if I hadn't had that. That was right close up and personal. And that's a gift. So this grandparent-grandchild thing, it's kind of interesting, but then let's take it a step further. Cryon talks about it, and Boron proves it. Great-grandparents, well, great-grandparents and kids, they are, at times, a child will take on a great-grandparent's issue. And this is actually, I think, not all that uncommon. Some sort of family thing, and that person holds it. Why? Because that person is the child. Like, okay, they're not going to remember. The parents probably will have a memory of the great-grandparent, but very few children know their great-grandparents. Amnesia. Interesting. So, and I've shared mine that, we had a family that made it, it was a setup for being on the spectrum and having social issues and social isolation and crap like that. And this idea of being in a soundproof booth was something that was really big to me. I had a patient who was locked in, and she was young, and she has always stayed with me. She's someone I dreamed about. She's someone I went to visit in rehab, and I don't. I just didn't do that as a nurse. You got my 12 hours. You don't need me. You don't need my heart afterwards bleeding for you. You're going to be just fine. But her, oh yeah. I followed her progress. Even when she relocated up to Greeley. I was working as a nurse living in Evans at the time. And working at NCMC. That's where I met her. And she deeply, profoundly impacted my life. Do you know what locked in is? It's when you have a stroke and you can no longer speak, but you understand and can hear everything. And I always felt so impotent in my speech. The only thing that the only way that I could really feel like I was connecting in any way that was meaningful was when I wrote, and I knew I had a wonderful thing inside of me because I could write, but I couldn't speak very well, and I was obviously look at the look at the issues I still have socially. It's all about, is it okay to speak? What do I say? How do I say it? How do they feel? All that stuff. It's just like a blanket sometimes. Well, my great-grandma was, she was locked in a basement after she had a stroke that made her mute. And great-grandpa was the devil himself. He was a very cruel man. And she was imprisoned. You think maybe that needs to be worked out? You think maybe that's some karma that is going to follow, oh, I don't know, and express? I think so. So, I don't know. Sometimes I look at people in a restaurant or in the grocery store and I'm thinking, yeah, well, there ain't nobody here who doesn't have issues. Everybody here has I don't know, an aching foot, or I don't know. There's something that's not quite right. We all have our things that we're working out, and everybody's allowed. Everybody's allowed to be doing what they're doing. And I just was having a lot of trouble really getting that. But I had a few things happen, and I feel better. So I noticed that the light's doing some really weird things. I think that's always kind of fun. And I think I am gonna just stop now because that's enough. And no, there's one more thing I gotta tell you, and it's kind of important, but over and over again from tons of people, I'm hearing the same thing, and I'm hearing it like loud and clear in my brain. And that is the time of rumination and thinking and figuring it out and deciding if it's okay and deciding what's real and what's not real. Blah, blah, blah. It's all over. Well, not all over, obviously. It's fun. But it's time for action. It's time to enact and do and try. And so I was thinking about this party that I went to, that it was a complete social disaster. I mean, in that the responses I received were bizarre and disastery. Just because I got left alone. It's like, whoa. Yeah. Hitting the wrong note all the way through that evening. Woo. So, I'm thinking about that and thinking, well, that sucked. I don't know if I want to do that again. And what I've been getting the last 3 days is, especially right when I wake up, is it doesn't matter what you do, you just have to do it. Just go, just do, just try, just do. Just, it's not time for sitting on your ass, it's time for action, girly. So, and I don't think that's going to change. I really do think that there have been some shifts. And what I'm getting is that I was slingshot You know, I think sometimes you're getting pulled back, and because you're so far back from where you started, it's like, yeah, this has got to be it, because there's a little bit of change, a little bit of a rest. It's like, whoa, hey, wait, and then sometimes you can feel the tension, like, and then, pew. That's kind of how I felt the last couple of days. It's kind of, and I like that because it's sort of it reiterates what Cran said long ago. Hey, guess what? The new normal is. And I think I'm going to find a couple of those videos or recordings because they were really helpful to me. Really, really helpful. This is the time for it. I'll let him speak for himself, or let them speak for themselves, or whatever. And I think I'm going to do one more channeling because I really feel like it, and I feel happy, and I like the anomaly, and I want to see what they can stir up. So here's a question that's been coming up lately. Well, what if this is just like like some sort of weird fugue MPD thing you do, and sure, that's why I can switch back so quick, because I'm faking. What? Because, hey, here's the deal. I feel like it's just a lot easier to do all this, and I really like the information. Yeah, of course it is new to me, but still. And they go, what? You're forgetting the visions. You're forgetting the weirdness. You're forgetting the sparkles. Get off your ass and do something. Basically. So, the time for self-doubt, I guess, is over too, huh? And if not, so that's it. That was what I keep being told. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you go into every single social situation the next whatever months or weeks or days or whatever, and feel like you failed. It doesn't matter. At least you've done it. That's all that matters. Getting up and trying again. Getting up and trying again. So, okay. That's what I'm going to do tonight. Again tonight. Get up and try again. Yeah. Because it's just more fun that way. So I hope you're having fun too. I hope that you're remember this, please, what my old boss told me when I walked into her office one day. And I was so PO'd about who knows what. I spent a lot of my time being PO'd and resentful, righteously indignant. That was my favorite. I still do that sometimes. Ew, it's gross, but yeah, I do. Anyway, I was righteously indignant. And, well, there's a number of things she would tell me. What I soon learned about that state of righteous indignation, and she taught me this repetitively, humblingly. If I'm feeling that way, I'm missing some key information. If I had that information, I'd be feeling like a fool right now. So she'd sit back and just enjoy the show. But I don't know. I think it's she had a lot to teach me. And this idea that we are I don't know, somehow renewable. She taught me that too. It was often, especially in that particular job when I was a director of nursing, it's a humbling position, but it's one where you have to hold a tremendous amount of power and responsibility. It's a very interesting paradox, that particular position. And she would teach me that when I was really feeling crushed and really bad about myself for having done something that was not great, or having missed a mark, or not seen something, which wasn't really all that often, but I wore it like a hair shirt, and I really had a hard time letting myself off the hook for things. And, you got to get right back on the horse, right? And She always had a way of making me remember that I was really loved, really worth. I had worth, I guess. She didn't come up and hug me. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. We had lunch once a year when she was my boss. This one was not a hugger. But she taught me a lot. And one of the things she did is one time I walked in and I was having a really bad time. Super bad time. And I was not happy. I was having trouble. And she said, "You know, Kathy, you've forgotten something. Maybe you don't know about it. But you spent a lot of time trying to slay that dragon. And you have a lot of fights with the dragon. And you always got your sword drawn. And you got to figure something out. You got to figure this out, kid. It's not about fighting the dragon. You got to figure out a way to ride the dragon." Ha! That's a good way to end this. Sometimes I feel like the dragon has got me by its meaty, taloned hoof, and I'm pinned to the ground. Sometimes, because I got a really good imagination. And a lot of times, my arm is heavy, and I am feeling defeated, trying to slay that thing. No. Climb on board. Climb on board. And I have. Today, anyway. Fuck it. Tomorrow's probably gonna suck. Who knows? Haven't I always said, deeply awake, I don't know what tomorrow brings? Well, clearly, the energy dips and changes, and that's what Kran said is, you know, things are going to keep changing. It's going to be change and change and change. Every day is different. Don't expect the same thing day to day. Don't expect it. It ain't going to happen. The energy's different every day. Why? Well, we're sweetening it. Sweetening it. Look at those rays of light. Ooh, pretty. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, my. So pretty. We go look into the sun, and then we let the rays come into the house. We're gonna do another channel and then go have some fun. Would appear. Ha. Say la.